Hi guys, you must have seen different kinds of infographics like these in magazines, in journals, and in financial press. So I thought why not to integrate those infographics into my Gantt chart, and our final product will look like something of this sort, in which each individual activity of your Gantt chart is complemented by a graphic, which I will tell you from where I have downloaded these and how I have incorporated these into my Gantt chart so that it remains dynamic, and by changing of days the infographic will remain in its place and move along with the dates. For this particular exercise, I'm using my final product or the final Gantt chart of the first video, which means we are using a basic Gantt chart. So if you want to know how we ended up with this Gantt chart, I have given a link to my video in the description below, or you can click the above suggestion to go to my video and create this kind of Gantt chart from scratch. Or if you do not want to go into this much depth, you can download this particular file along with the Gantt chart from the link given below in the description. So let us start. I'm Saleem from SHK Excel World, and today's exercise is on creating an appealing Gantt chart including the infographics. So just create a copy of this basic Gantt chart. So as a starting point, just to tell you that we can incorporate any kind of graphic into a chart with the help of a scatter plot chart. So if you have worked with scatter plot, there are two axes, x-axis and y-axis, and so the dots are plotted in chart on the basis of the values given in x-axis and in y-axis. So as a first value, as a starter, I am going to create a new field which will define the place as to where the dots are going to appear in our Gantt chart. So I'm naming this as place. So I want to show my graphic just at the end of each bar, whether it's a completed activity or it's a going on activity. So it should be the end date equal to the end date, and just copy it to the cells below, just increasing the size of this a bit. So I'm going to add another series into my existing Gantt chart. Go to design, select data, and add another series. For the series name, give place, and for the series values, select all the values below the place heading. So no need to worry, our Gantt chart is going nowhere. Just press OK and again OK. So we just need to change the chart type for this particular series to a scatter plot. For doing this, right click on any of the bars and select change series chart type. It is automatically going to take us to the combo option, and for the last series, which is a place, we are going to select the scatter plot. Select the scatter plot, and automatically Excel has identified secondary axis for the scatter plot because the primary axis are already in use by our existing Gantt chart, and press OK. So we know that the scatter plot uses two axes. One is the y-axis and the x-axis. So this field should be our x-axis because our x-axis already contain a date. So for the y-axis, I am going to add another field named percentage, and for the starter, I'm just going to give a hypothetical 0% to each of the activity. Just change the format and copy it to the cells below. And now again I'm going to adjust the scatter plot's x-axis and y-axis values. Select the chart, go to design, select data, and select the series name place and click edit. So for the X series, I'm going to use the place which we used initially while creating the series. And for the y-axis, use the percentage we just created and press OK. Again, press OK. So here are the dots of the scatter plot. We just need to do little modifications. For the y-axis, we need to reverse the order. Right click the y-axis and select format access. At the moment, the range is set to auto. We just need to make it fixed by redoing the 0%, and for the maximum it's 1, and we just need to reverse the order so that the dots are placed above the Gantt chart. Now we need to change the percentages so that each dot is placed right at the center of each bar. It will be a hit and trial method, so any percentage may work. For the first one, let me try 7%, maybe 8% would work. In this manner, you can change the place of all of the remaining dots. So now our dots are placed right in the center of each of the bar. So now the next step is to select our icons. So if you are working with a version earlier to 2016, you may use shapes or you may download icons from the website. So I'm using icon option in Office 365. Here you can choose the icons which suits best to your individual activities. So once you have selected your icons, press insert. Just reduce the size of the icons. So you should reduce the size enough so that your icons fit an individual bar. So mine is almost okay. So the next step is to change the color of the icon. Copy this and paste it while selecting the individual dot. So for the first two, because at the moment the number of days have been consumed and the dot is behind the number of days left. So I'm just going to change the first two zeros to a hypothetical number. Later on we will copy the actual formula to it. For the first understanding, I'm going to use this human face with a thinking mind. Just select this, change the color to white or light gray, whatever you want to. Copy this, select the first dot. Please make sure to select the first dot only, as the other ones may also get selected accidentally, and paste. Do the same with the rest of the icons. But you will identify that the icons are not fully appearing within each particular bar. So what we can do is to just subtract 3 from each so that the icons fall within the range of a particular bar. Now we just need to reinforce the original formula to the first 2 days left. So in this way, you just need to change the today, or may apply a today formula. If I change today to 30th of May, the icons remain in their place and will not be impacted by the change of dates or days used or days left. There is another option available in this. If you want your icon to be placed within the days used only and want that to dynamically move along with the bar for days used, so you will have to just change the formula for place. So for that, I'm going to use the start date plus the days used minus 3 for the adjustment, and copy this to the rest of the cells. So in this way, you can see that in this particular modeling activity, the bar is here, and for the testing it's here. But for the rest, because the days used have not triggered, so the icon is not visible. Let me change the today. Let me take back this to 10th of May. And if I consider that the date has already passed, so I'm just going to use a date that is larger than the end date for the last activity. So 11th of July 19. So you can see that all of the icons are appearing at the end of bars for days used. So in this way you can create a much more informative Gantt chart, which is highly appealing, and you can copy this to your PowerPoint presentations, your Word documents. So hope you have liked this video. Stay tuned for further videos and do not forget to subscribe my channel SHK Excel World. Thanks for watching.